Once again, my name's Jonty. I am speaking from TrustYou. For those of you that don't know who TrustYou are, we're an online reputation management company. So we basically look at your reviews and we help you collect more reviews. We're based in Munich, Germany, but we are a global team and have global clients as well. A little bit more about myself. I, like you, am a hotelier. Yeah, I grew up in the industry and family-run businesses, and then after that, working majority for Accor hotels. Yeah, so this is where I did the graduate program with them, and then kind of working in guest experience, front office management, actually working with TrustYou. So when I later on was looking for a job, it made it very simple for me. I was very familiar with the tool. So. My topic today is the impact that reputation management has on booking behavior and revenue. Yeah, so let's get into it, and I'm going to start with a definition. Yeah, so what actually is online reputation management? And this is the process of managing and maintaining a public perception of a brand, business, or person online. Yeah, if we take this into our own context in hospitality, this usually involves responding to all of the reviews. The efforts on gaining more positive reviews, reducing the number of negative reviews, and then any time your brand is being mentioned online as well. So we're actually going to start with a quick poll. I've only got 2 questions for you. So the first question for you is, how many of you actually like your online reviews for your hotel? So raise your hand if you like your online reviews. Okay. Maybe 4 people, 5 people, yeah. That is actually on trend, yeah. A lot of people, a lot of hoteliers don't actually like their reviews, yeah. Second question for you. So consider all reviews out there, yeah, on the internet. What percentage of online reviews do you think are positive? Okay, so do you think it's less than 60%? Do you think it's less, in between 60 and 90%? Or more than 90%. So raise your hand if you think it's less than 60%.
You mean in general?
In general.
Yeah.
Okay. Between 60 and 90%? Okay, more? More than 90%. The optimistic people. Okay, so 93% of online reviews are positive. Yeah, so that makes us question why so many of us don't like online reviews. Yeah, so let's look into it a little bit further. Yeah, so firstly we're going to start off with the importance of online reviews today, and we're going to start off outside of the hospitality industry. So these were findings by the Search Engine Journal, and they had a lot of studies, data, findings, and I've kind of reduced it all to one page, and we're only going to be focusing on 4 of them. So the first one being positive and negative reviews influence consumers. Yeah, we know this. This is, as hoteliers, this is certainly true. Yeah, that 99% of users read reviews. So this is certainly, if I consider my own experiences, when I buy something on Amazon or eBay or anything online, I'm actually considering online reviews because that gives me confidence in that product. Yeah, if the product doesn't have many reviews or has a low rating, I have less confidence that that quality is going to be there, or if that's the right product for me. Yeah, that 3.3 stars is the minimum rating that customers accept. Yeah, and that Gen Z trust online reviews more so, or as much as personal recommendations. So they are very influenced by reviews as well. So let's go back into the hospitality industry and start off something that we really know for sure. Yeah, is that guests write reviews so that their opinions are heard. Yeah, and we're going to look at 3 different findings. These are all done by kind of industry giants, so Google, Expedia, but as well as our own TrustYou studies as well. The first one being is that 95% of travelers read reviews before making a booking decision. So very similar to outside the hospitality industry. Yeah, and the same studies show that 99% of younger travelers read reviews before making their booking decision. Yeah, that travelers are 3.9 times more likely to book a hotel with a higher rating. Yeah, that the quantity and the quality of ratings bring a positive influence on Google. So if your hotel has more Google reviews and those reviews are of high quality or you know, have better reviews, higher star ratings, then it's actually going to improve your SEO score as well. So you're going to be appearing higher in the search, yeah? And that 88% of travelers sought out ratings with 3 stars or less. So if your hotel has less than 3 stars on Google or on Booking.com, I think that's on a scale of 1 to 10, it's the cutoff is 6, then you might not even be in the search, yeah? The next 2 studies is how online reviews influence RevPAR. Yeah, so this was an Expedia study, and they found that in 72% of the cases that travelers will choose a hotel with a higher review score over one with a brand name or a lower price. So in the study, they gave the example that a guest would pay 35% more for a hotel with a score of 4.4 compared to a hotel with a score of 3.9. Another study that also supports this was done by the Cornell University and their Center of Hospitality Research, and they were able to find a direct correlation between RevPAR and online reputation. Yeah, so a 1% boost in reputation led to a 1.42% increase in RevPAR. So let's dive into the 1% boost in reputation. What does that look like? Again, that's gaining more positive reviews, decreasing the amount of negative reviews, yeah? Very simply, yeah? But also, how are we going to do that? We actually need to change things operationally as well. So with reputation management solutions, it's the ability to understand what people are saying within the reviews. So what people are saying about the service, the cleanliness, the curtains, the furniture, yeah? And then making those changes operationally in order to collect better reviews. And then after this, you essentially have a better product as well, right? Yeah, so that's where you can start charging more for your daily rates as well, yeah, in a nutshell. So now that we've seen what the data behind it is saying and the industry studies, let's look at more industry data or our latest industry data that has been done. First of all, considering where your guests are actually reading your online reviews. Yeah, so this might come as a surprise to you, I'm not too sure, but where guests are looking for your reviews is actually number 1 is on your website directly. Yeah, number 2 is on Google. Now Google is a no-brainer, it's the largest search engine, that's how the majority of your clients are finding you, yeah? But the amount of hotels that I speak with and they don't have review content on their website directly, yeah, we know that 95% of guests read reviews before making their booking decision. So why not keep them on your website to drive direct bookings? Yeah? And it's interesting that Booking.com is so low. We're going to have a look at Booking.com in just a second because they're the powerhouse when it comes to review volume. Yeah? Next is what is the relevant topics when travelers are looking for when both writing reviews and reading reviews. So these all should come at no surprise. So we've got cleanliness, customer service, food and beverage, and the friendliness. What's important here is there are 2 categories that your guests will not compromise on. Yeah, first of all, it's the cleanliness of your property, and the second of all is the sense of safety and security. Yeah, so we're able to give great customer service, have a warm welcoming. Yeah, we're also able to make them feel more safe and secure as well. This is where we're talking about Booking.com, and they're saying it's the year of Booking.com, especially in online reviews. So taking all of those online review sources out there, on the left we have the global picture that Booking.com in terms of review volume has 56% of the global market share, yeah, followed by Google, and then there's an even split between TripAdvisor, Expedia, and Hotels.com, and then here we're focusing in on EMEA. Now a few slides back, although this figure here, 70% Booking.com, or a few slides back we looked at where your guests are actually looking for your reviews. And that's on Google and your website directly. Yeah, so I just wanted to point that out here, that Google is a very important source for you. Yeah. Here we have how hotels are using online reputation management solutions throughout all stages of the guest journey to boost their reputation, yeah, in order to drive direct bookings and impact revenue. So if I take you through here, we've got the 3 distinct stages here. We've got the booking stage, the on-site stage, and the post-stay stage. We start off here in the post-stay stage, yeah, and this is where we have solutions such as review analytics. So the ability to take all those reviews out there for your hotel and put it into a centralized platform, yeah. And you can hotels are using this to collect insights on what your hotel is doing well and the areas that you need to improve upon, yeah. But it's also putting it into a centralized inbox as well. So making it very easy for your teams to respond to those reviews and the ability to track your competitors, yeah. We have this right next to our post-stay survey. A lot of hotels are using this. This is a very common practice, but this is essentially sending out a survey to every single guest out there, yeah. Because considering all of those online reviews, Google, Booking.com, TripAdvisor, these are organic reviews. Yeah, the hotel themselves aren't necessarily asking for those reviews. By having a post-stay survey, you're writing them a message. You're thanking them for, first of all, staying with you, but you're also telling them the importance that feedback is for you and how that helps you improve, yeah? So by having a post-stay survey, the point is that you're able to generate higher performance scores as well. Now, if we move all the way here over to the booking stage, again, this is by having your review content directly on your website, yeah? But also having meta summaries as well. So summaries on what people are saying about the location of your property, the vibe of your property, the service, the cleanliness, yeah? In order to impact booking decision. And then lastly, we have, or there's solutions out there, on-site solutions. So this is communication channels, this is live survey. And the idea here is to collect feedback while the guest is still on site, to prevent any negative sentiment going into the post-stay stage. Yeah, so as a hotelier, the most frustrating review that I would receive would be something like, it was a disappointing stay, the TV in my room was broken. Yeah, I mean,
because the commercial sucked.
Yeah. So I mean, isn't that frustrating? Because you're sitting there thinking, well, we could have done something about that. We could have changed your room. We could have fixed the TV. Yeah. So it's having on-site communication in order to collect that while the guest is still there, and then resolve that and prevent the negative sentiments entering the post-stay stage. Cool. So now is an exciting segment that we're putting in. It's a focus on Copenhagen. So for those of you that don't know, TrustYou, we're also a big data company. So we have the largest guest review data in the market. We have 1.2 million hotels in our database, and we're crawling all of the major review sources as well. So what we've been able to do is to group together all Copenhagen hotels and review together the performance scores and the performance of the city. Yeah, so we can see that we're considering 198 hotels within the city. And for the next section, we're looking at one time frame, which is the second half of last year and the first half of this year. So it's a 12-month period from the 1st of July to the 22 until the 30th of June 23. And we can see that in this 12-month period, Copenhagen as a city had a performance score of 79.59. So that gives you your city's benchmark. Yeah. We can see that Copenhagen as a city has collected 305,000 reviews. Your average response rate is 47%, and your service sentiment score is 82. Now, service sentiment scores, basically what this means is that every time service was mentioned within the review, that 82% of the time it's positive. Yeah. So let's look and see how Copenhagen stacks up against other key cities within the Nordic Scandinavian region. And okay, we see it at the bottom of the list, okay, but just consider one thing. Consider the volume of reviews, yeah? This is where it's unbelievable how many reviews Copenhagen hotels are actually collecting, yeah? on average, it's about 1,500 reviews in a 12-month period. Yeah, and that's a significant volume. And when we're talking about, you know, your response rate is still kind of sitting there, it's okay, you're responding to half of that, yeah? Pretty significant, or a lot of effort going into that, I would say. Next, we have this semantic analysis for Copenhagen as a city, yeah? And this kind of gives us relevance. So the semantic analysis basically is telling us what is being said within those reviews. And we can see the top kind of overarching categories. So we see room, location, service, comfort right there. I'd say no really surprises there. Next, we have kind of the performance of the city. Again, from the time frame, second half of last year, first half of this year, and then comparing it to the exact same time frame 1 year before. So we can see that year on year, there hasn't been a performance increase, I would say. But look at the review volume change, that you've been able to grow your reviews year on year by 36%. Response rate hasn't changed the same, but again, considering the number of reviews, yeah. The service sentiment has also slightly declined, and the pricing sentiment has declined. Now, there are absolutely there's no surprises about the pricing sentiment. Again, when we're talking about pricing sentiment, every time price is mentioned within the reviews, it's more so negative in the last 12 months. Yeah, but we see across the board, globally and in EMEA, that room prices are going up, so that sentiment is also going to decrease. Yeah. Next, we have the top impact scores that are impacting your hotels most positively and negatively. So these are the sentiments. So negative sentiments in the city is room, cleanliness, bathroom, and beds, and then the positive impacts. So what is driving your hotel scores is service and location. We've also dug a little deeper into the semantic analysis to identify any trends or hot topics within the city. Again, so a few ones here. So sustainability, when we're talking about sustainability, the hot topics were waste reduction, specifically the mention of plastic has decreased, yeah? And then sustainable food sourcing, so the mention of regional or organic products, so this is kind of trending in the city in a positive way. We see that safety and security is also trending. I looked into this a little bit further, and these are where travelers are mentioning within their reviews that they're feeling more safe within your city, yeah? So I thought that this was very interesting. This was a 20% increase, and that food options as well has the top improvement. So all of the categories, and in particular it was vegetarian options, vegan, and restrictive diets as well. So people talking about gluten-free, lactose intolerant as well, yeah? Next, we have the top review sources just for Copenhagen. Again, there shouldn't be any surprises here. Booking.com sits ahead, almost 240,000 reviews. Second place, we've got Google, 30,000 reviews, 20,000 hotels.com. Now, I've put TrustYou survey here for one reason, and that's to show what kind of impact having your own survey has on your performance scores. Yeah, so by, again, sending out to every single guest that stays with you, inviting them to give you feedback, explaining the importance of feedback, you're actually able to impact your performance scores compared to the other sources as well. Yeah. Last of all, we're actually going to be looking at the top performers within the city. Yeah. Again, with the same time period. So these are your top 10 hotels. Just to explain it a little further, so we're looking at performance scores. This is a aggregation of all major review sources out there, so Google, Booking.com, TripAdvisor, Expedia, and we've made it so a hotel must have collected more than 250 reviews in that 12-month period. So I'll let you do your own assessment here, but I do have a question. Do we have any top 10 hotels in the city? Couple, congratulations, well done. Very good. Next, we have the top mover in Copenhagen. I've included this because I think it's also important to understand which hotels are really focusing on it and are able to impact their reputation. So we see the Babette, Guldsmeden, I'm sure I butchered that name, but we see that again it's the same time period, yeah, compared year on year. We see that they've been able to impact their performance score or increase their performance score by almost 6%, that the review volume has dramatically increased by 500%, that the response rate has increased by 100%, service change by almost 7%, and the breakfast as well by almost 5%. Now, if we read this the other way around, we can see that this hotel has been able to significantly get more reviews online, dramatically drive the engagement, so respond to all of those reviews. They've been able to understand the areas that they need to focus on, those areas being service and breakfast, and in return, they have a higher performance score. Yeah, so leveraging their reputation to be more competitive within their market. Yeah, and we can see here that they essentially have a better product. Yeah, and when you have a better product, you can charge a little bit more for your product. Yeah. Main takeaways today: 92% of guest reviews are positive. Yeah, that managing your online reviews gives you a competitive advantage because your guests are reading your online reviews before making the booking decision, so they're considering the scores. Yeah, so if your hotel has higher scores, better reviews, then they're actually going to go with you over your competitors, and that online reviews directly impacts booking behavior and revenue. I'm going to finish and I'm going to help you answer this question: why so many of us in the room do not like reviews. Yeah, as we saw before with the Copenhagen stats, that you guys are collecting on average 1,500 reviews. That's the reason. Too many reviews. Yeah, and we know that in our teams we're short-staffed at the moment. Yeah, we don't have the patience, we don't have the time to go through all of those reviews. Yeah, and this is where we have in the industry new technology coming through. I'm sure you've heard of ChatGPT, and it's very similar to this. Yeah, so it's called Response AI, and TrustYou is one of the first to do it. It's using AI technology that's integrated in that centralized inbox to read that review and to suggest to the hotelier a unique and high quality response to that review. And so not only does that significantly reduce the effort, but it also helps you manage the quality of those responses as well. Yep. So if you'd like to learn more, we've got some drinks coming up, so I'd love to hear from you, but you can also reach out also on LinkedIn. Here's my email. So that's it.